So let's begin our class today. Today we're going to learn Majjhima Nikayas, one of the very important Dhammadesana, which is related with all of our life. Means we are still having those things and we are still running after those also. That never stops, and because of that, Buddha gave the beautiful name called Mahādukkhakkhandha. Such a huge pile of suffering, you know, it is explaining that way. So we're going to learn that sutta and we will going to discuss upon it too. So first we will go refuge to triple gem. Go refuge with me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worldly One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And dear Dhamma friends, we are learning Majjhima Nikaya these days. And today we are going to learn the Mahādukkhakkhandhasutta, the longer discourse on the mass suffering. It's a 13th number sutta from Majjhima Nikaya, the book of 1. If in a summary we say what this sutta explains, that what is the suffering and how can someone be escaped from it, how to understand this suffering, it's beautifully mentioned here. Sutta begins like this. Evaṁ me sutta, thus I have heard. Ekam samayam bhagavā sāvattiyam viharati jetavane anāthapindikassa ārāme. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling in a Savatti, Jetavana, which was offered by Anathapindika. Atako sambhavala bhikkhu pubbana samayan nivasetva patta chivara madaya Savatti pindaya pavisi. On the time, early in the morning, several monks, lot of monks, they took their ball and robe, they wore that and went for the arms round in the Sahavati city. When they are there, they thought it is still time, or we should go to this near about Paribhajaka Arama. Paribhajaka Arama, it means where the other wanderers or other ascetics, they live there. So why should not we go there? So they discuss upon it and then they visited to the different religious or different or wanderers to them. When the bhikkhus meet these others, they had their cordial talk, and these bhikkhus, they sat down at one side, and the wanderers also was there. They also sat close to. One of them, ekamantang nisinne te kote bhikkhu te anyatitya paribhajaka edatu vocham. So one of the wanderer, after these bhikkhus are seated, he raised the question there. What he says? Samano avso gotamo kamana parinyam panyapinti. That this reverend ascetic Gautama advocate the complete understanding of sensual pleasure. He explains, or Supreme God Buddha, he always mention or explain about the sensual pleasure. So, as the Gautama is explaining, so do we. Mayampi kamana panyapim. We also explain it that way. Samano also Gautama Rupanam Parinyam Panyapeti. The Master Gautama advocates the understanding of feelings, forms, sensual forms. So do we. Samano Gautamo also Gautamo Vedananam Parinyam Panyam. That Samana Gautama, it's explained about feelings. He advocates about feelings, and so do we. Idhano also ko viseso ko adhipayaso king nana karanang samanasava Gautamasa amma kagva yadidang dhamma desanayava dhamma desanang anusasaniyava anusasananti. What he asks, that as the Samana Gautama advocates about the forms or sensual pleasure, feelings, and we also do the same thing, then what is the difference in between two of us? That Gautama is also mentioning that, and we are also doing the same thing. What is the, we can say that his teaching is different than ours. What is his anushasana, means his guidance? He also give that guidance, and for ours, what is the difference in between that? These monks, they were maybe new or maybe did not understand the Dhamma yet. When this wanderer raised this question that you and we have the same thing, you also explains about that, and we also explains about the same thing. Then what is the difference in between you and us? And if you see today also in this world, the same thing happens. Like other ascetics or other religion also mention the same thing, that this is the sensual desire that we have to give up. This is the forms that we have to give up the desire of that. This is the feelings that we do not want to associate with. Such a things others also explains. And Buddha also explains the same thing. And what is the difference in between these two? That time, Atakote Bhikkhu Tesam Anyatithyanam Parivvajakanam Bhasitam Neva Abhinandinsu Nappatikosinsu Anabhinanditva Appatikositva Uttayasana Pakkaminsu. And when these questions raised, when they were talking like this, these bhikkhus did not, accept it, or neither they disagree with it. Without doing anything, without accepting and without disagreeing, without approval and dismissal, because they rose and then they left to the Supreme Buddha, having this thought in their mind: I will go to Buddha, I will ask these things, and as Buddha explains, we will understand it. Bhagavato Santike etasya bhasitasya attham aja nissa. So when the Buddha will explain, we will ask the directly question from him and we will learn from him. So Atakote Bhikkhu Savatiyam Pindaya Charitma, these monks, they went for the alms round. After finishing their alms round, they came back to where the Supreme Buddha was dwelling. Supreme Buddha was staying. They worship him, they bow down to him, and then they sit down at one side. After sitting, one of the bhikkhu, he told the Supreme Buddha, Bhante, amazing thing happened, or this thing happened. When we were going to the alms round, for us, this thought arises. Okay, before entering into the city for the bhiksha, or before entering for the alms round, let's go to this other ascetics from the different religion. Wanderers are there. Let's go and have the cordial talk. So we visited there, and then we had this conversation. This conversation that the Samana Gautama's teaching and ours are similar. What is the difference between these two? He also explained about the sensual desire, forms, feelings, and we also do the same thing. So how can we distinguish it between two? So when this question was raised, we did not approve it or dismiss it. Without doing this both, we just thought, okay, we will go to the Buddha and we will ask this question. When the Supreme Buddha heard this entire thing, Supreme Buddha says, Evam vadino bhikkhave annatitya paribhajaka evam astu vachaniyan. When this ascetics ask this question, when they say something like this, then it must be asked like this. Kopanauso kamanang asadu. When others may ask that the teachings are different, the sensual desire is explaining about the pleasure, sensual pleasure is explaining, then you should ask him, Kopanauso kamanang asadu. And what is the gratification of sensual pleasure? Ko adinavo. What is the adinava means drawbacks of that? And ko nissarana. How escape of it, how it finishes. So first one is the gratification, second one is drawback and escape from it. These three things you should ask. Rupanang asadu, adinavo, nissarana. The gratification of forms. What is the drawback of forms and what is the escape of it? Vedananang asado, vadinavo, king nissarananti. Feelings. What is the gratification of feelings? What is the drawback of these feelings? And what is the escape of these feelings? You should ask them. When you raise this question to them, evam putta bhikkhave annatitya paribhajaka na cheva sampayisanti. They will not be understanding this. They will don't understand this. It will be troublesome for them. No? They cannot elaborate and cannot escape it. And what is the reason behind why they will stuck there? Yatha yatang bhikkhave avisayasmi, because they did not have realized it. Nang tang bhikkhave passami sadevaki loke samarake sabrahmake sasamanang pramanya pajaya sadev manusaya yo ime sang panyanang veya karanena chittang aradhya anyatra tagatene vantagata savakena va ito vapana sutva. Supreme Buddha says, in this entire world, no one is there in heavenly world or any that they will person will be answering the question of this except this completely realized the Blessed One or his disciple or who has heard this before. Today, there is a lot of changes happen in society because Buddha has explained this suttas, because Buddha has mentioned. So the others do the same thing, and the glimpse of this or the parts of it you can hear from their life. Supreme Buddha then explained entire sutta in this way. What he explained, Kocha bhikkhave kamanang asado. Now that three things has divided about the sensual desire, about the forms, and about the feelings. Here the Buddha distinguished entire suffering is there. What is he said? Kamana asado. What is the gratification for the sensual pleasure? Supreme Buddha said, Pancheme bhikkhave kamaguna. Because these are the five kind of sensual stimulation. What are those? Chakku vinyenya rupa, ittha kanta manapa piyarupa kamupa sangita rajaniya. What the Buddha says, the sight known by the eye, that is likable, desirable, agreeable, pleasant, sensual, and arousing. Rajaniya, it means, being like a kind of, so which stays with us, in a way, which grows, slowly and establishes huge. So that same goes for the hearing. So first is for chakku, from the eyes. Whatever we see from these eyes, these things happen. What happened? It is likable, desirable, agreeable, pleasant, sensual, and arousing. These things happen. When we hear the words, that sensual desire it is explained. So the sensual pleasure it is explained. So the pleasure of hearing, pleasure of nose, pleasure of tongue, and pleasure of body. These are the five things. Those are the five things Supreme Buddha says. Imeko bhikkhave pancha kama guna. So we say pancha kama guna. They are explaining, enjoying this world, these five sensual pleasures. So these are the five sensual pleasures that Buddha mentioned. Yanko bhikkhave ime pancha kama gune paticca uppajjati sukha somanasang ayam kamanang asado. When someone engages in this five kind of sensual stimulation, this is the gratification of sensual pleasure. When we enjoy these things, when we have these things, that is the gratification. See, when beautiful song is going on radio or our any player, we enjoy by listening that we start to hum. That is called kamanang asado, having taste of, having desire. That is gratification is there. Kocha bhikkhave kamanam adinam. That this is the gratification of sensual pleasure. Then what is the drawback? What is the drawback of sensual pleasure? Buddha says, either bhikkhave kulaputto yena sippathanena jivikam kappeti. Here, any person, any gentleman earns a living by means such as in a different way, whatever that he has the skills. So, sippa, it means skills. So, whatever the skill he has learned by doing this, he earns the money. He gets either. So, by the, it will mention in different, by accounting, computing, then different kind of trades, business, farming, raising cattle, archery, or the government servant, government job, and a different the professions are there. So while earning this, while collecting, like today, whatever we are earning, for what? We go to the offices or we do the different works. For what? To be happy, to earn the happiness. So we can, means we earn the money and we feel okay, we have money. We spend it for the enjoyment. We spend on the food, we spend on the shelter, we spend on the different places. For what? That we can be happy. So Buddha says, while we are earning those money, whatever way, that when we earn, that time, sitassa purakkato, unnassa purakkato, that we have to bear, we have to face what? Cold, heat, different kind of the mosquitoes, flies, wind, sun, or all of these things, risking our life, and even that hunger, thirst, those are all things is there. Without risking these things, without facing these things, there is no easy money in this world. Even someone is working on computer, doing the IT job, they also have to spend a lot of mind, depressions, and all things they have to face. Buddha says that is the adina, that is a drawback of sensual pleasure that is visible. Time to time, people are doing these things and they are fed up with that. Buddha says, Ayampi bhikkhave kamanang adinavo sandittiko. These are the visible drawbacks in this world. Dukkhakkhandho kamahetu kama nidanam kamadikaranam kamanameva. For, for earning these all things, this sensual pleasure, these are the things why we are doing. That is the suffering. It is in the huge pile. Furthermore, Buddha says, Tassache bhikkhu kulaputtasya evam uttahato gatato vayamato te bhoga navi nippajanti. So some of the time, when this gentleman is making effort to earn the money, he may be failed. It is not always we become successful. Several times we start something and then we fail in that. So sochati, kilamati, paridevati, urattali, khandati, sammohang apajati. then he fed up, and he with the sorrow, with the while he lamentation, sorrow, away, and all of the different ways that he suffers in his, the depression comes to him, and he says like this, Mogang vatame uttanam. This is the best of my, hard work. My all the effort has gone fruitless. Apalo vatame vayam. My effort is fruitless. I am bibhikkhave kamanangadinam. Buddha says that is also drawback of sensual pleasure. It means not always our effort is work to earn that thing. Not always. We try. We try for the sensual desire, sensual pleasure to get. For that, whatever we do, it is not always successful. That's why we see several people are doing. Buddha further explaining here what is happening. Supreme Buddha says, Tasache bhikkhave kulaputtasya eva mutthaha vayamatote bhoga abhinipajjanti. Buddha says, when this person takes effort and try to earn this, then what happened? What happened? He will earn the money. He will get that thing. He will, what is the effort he do? It will give him the result. And then this thing will happen. What will happen? Sotesang bhogana. Whatever he has earned, that thing will arakhadikarnang dukkhang domanasang patisangvedeti. To preserve it, to keep it properly, he has to suffer for that too. Because kinti me bhoge neva raja no hareyam. King maybe take it. It is mentioned, so the king can take it. So he is taking effort to preserve it. That king should not take it, or not neither from the any person, the thieves, or from the fire, Udakangvahe, from the overflowing river. By this all things, he's completely spending time to prevail from this all bad things to happen. Or there may be Napiya Daya Dahariyam, that he is trying to prevail from unlovable hair of him. Or there are the hairs, the son or daughter. We do not approve their behavior of leading, their way of living. So we say that I am not giving my money to him or her in that way. So that thing also he's constantly thinking of how to preserve this wealth. While doing that, while he's trying to do that, he is taking the effort, and that is also giving him a lot of trouble for that. Yampi me ahosi, tampi no natti. Whatever he thinks doesn't happen in the same way. Ayampi bhikkave kamanangadino sanditiko. And that is also drawbacks that which can seen in the very life. Supreme Buddha says furthermore, Punachaparang bhikkave kama hetu kama nidanam kamadhikarana kama neva hetu. Furthermore, for the sake of sensual pleasure, these people, for to get it this in our own life, Raja nopi rajayu vivadanti. The king fight with king. Khattiyampi khattiyehi vivadanti. The warriors, they fight with each other. Brahmanapi brahmanehi vivadanti. The Brahmins also, they also fight with each others. Gahapati pi vivadanti. Vivadanti. The householders also fight with householders. Mata pi puttena vivadati. Mother also fight with son. Putta pi matara vivadati. The son also fight with mother. Pita pi puttena vivadati. The son, the father is also fight with son. Putto pi pitara vivadati. The son also fight with father. We see in today's life, there are a lot of court cases this happen. Kings, now all the politicians, they are fighting with each other. What they do? They blame, they say different names, all kind of the fighting they bring it in the front of society. Our armies, they are not protecting that, but they are still on the border. They are ready to fight, and those are all things. People are fighting to gain this happiness in this world. So that is visible. The there are a lot of court cases that which is put the mother and father, the daughters, sons. They are all fighting with each other for the property. There are a lot of cases are there. Okay, I want this property. I want the brother fight with brother, the sister fight with sister, brother fight with sister. It's all for that. Supreme Buddha says, when this all fighting is happening, what happens? Some of the time, uh, they are utilizing the different ways of, feast, the uh, different way of they are giving the strike to them, the swords, rods, anything, whatever means that. Some of the time, te tatta maranam pi nigacchati, marnat mattam pi dukkham. Some of the time, they are dying or they are experience the deadly pain. For that, Buddha says, this is the kama ragadino. That is also one of the drawback for sensual pleasure. Isn't it visible today? It's very easily find wherever you go, and you will find for the sensual pleasure, people are fighting. People are doing same things. Furthermore, Buddha explained, Punacha parang bhikkhave kama hetu kama nidanan kamadikaran kamanameva hetu asicham gahitva dhanaka kalapang sannahitva. Supreme Buddha says furthermore that for the sensual pleasure, don their swords and shields, they fight with each other in a different way, taking their wealth. All kind of suffering is happened there, and some of the time with this fighting, with this war, people die or they face the deadly pain, and that is also drawback of sensual pleasure. Furthermore, Buddha says that to get this sensual pleasure, what people do, they break the homes, so break into houses, plunder wealth, steal from isolated buildings, they mug from the mugging happens when the people are going, robberies happens, and people do paradaram gachanti, adultery also committed for the sensual pleasure. See, this is the visible things that we see all of surrounding us. Everyone is seeing. Murder happen. Doesn't matter how much civilized we are, there are still we find this kind of things. There is not in the world that we cannot see this thieves. People are there, they perceive with their words and they take the money from them, and which is not utilized. So this is things Buddha explained here. So when they are doing these things, people will get caught by king, and when they are caught by the lawman, they will be facing this punishment on different way. Why? What kind of kasahi pitaleti? The whip that they are getting whipped. Vettehi pitaleti. They are getting chained, clubbing, and all kind of that time. The in front of the elephant, in front of the horses, their hands are drawn, their ears are drawn, they are making the holes in there, they are getting burned, they are different kind of whatever in that time. So the punishment was there. Those are all punishment they face. Today also we see people are when someone got mugged or something, the people take him in prison. We see this is good, but that isolation is take their all the energy. That is the pain that they suffer. But the says, for getting this wealth, in what way they have, what is the result? That they are suffering from that. Buddha says, when they are facing the punishment of that, te tatta maranam pi nigacchati. Some of the time they passed away, they are dead, or maranamattampi dukkham, or the deadly pain they face, and that is the kama nangadina, that is the drawback of sensual pleasure. We see these things. Puracha parang dikkave kama hetu kamanithanam. Kayena duccaritam charanti, vachaya duccaritam charanti, manasa duccaritam charanti. To have this sensual pleasure in their life, to enjoy these things, people misbehave with their bodily conduct. For worldly misconduct or mentally misconduct. This misconduct is fine. Te kayana duccaritam charitva, while behaving the wrong way with the body, word, and mind. After breakup of this body, after passing away, these people go to the hell. They fall into the bad destination. Ayam vivekave kamanangadinu samparaya. Up to now, the Buddha says, this is the sandittika, this is the visible suffering that we see here. Like facing the wind and facing this all the harsh environment, different troublesome places, or people may steal it to preserve them, and whatever we try, no one can do. Like recently in America, there was a fire for a couple of months like this, and how much they are tried to prevail, it cannot be, you know. Some of the time insurance also takes. So this is that suffering is there. Then some of the time the people fight to earn this money. So the people die from that. People steal the money. So when as a result of punishment, they suffer. And if they do not suffer in this time, at this very moment, what happened? Because of bad bodily misconduct, verbally misconduct, and mentally misconduct, their actions leads them to the fall into the bad destination of hell, and that is called samparayika. Samparayika means the coming life, that the result of sensual desire, the result of coming lives. Supreme Buddha says, this is the kamana adinava, that is the drawback, sensual pleasure. Then furthermore, Buddha explained, kincha bhikkave kamana nissarana. And what is the escape from the sensual pleasure? The first Buddha explained what is the sensual pleasure is. Then what is the drawback of sensual pleasure is. Now the Buddha explaining what are the drawback and what is the escape from it. Means we see that all kind of suffering is there and how we can get it out. Buddha say, Yoko bhikkave kamesu chandaraga vinayo chandaraga pahanam idam kamanam nissaranam. Removing and giving up desire and greed for sensual pleasure, this is the escape from the sensual pleasure. It means our all kind of sensual pleasure is with the greed, with the desire. If someone give up these things, then that is the nissarana, that is the escape from this sensual side. And now the Buddha explained entirely how someone can free from that. Yehi kochi bhikkhave samanava brahmanava evam kamanam assadancha assadato adinavancha adinavato nissaranancha nissaranato yathabhutam nappajananti tevata samam va kame parisajananti parang va tathathaya samadapeti pissanti tat yatha patipanno kami parijanissanti iti netam thanam vijjati. Buddha says, some of the ascetics, there are the ascetics and Brahmins who do not understand truly that what is the gratification, drawback, and escape from it. And because of that, they are not unable to understand. They cannot teach, they cannot explain, they cannot mention to others. But some of the ascetics and Brahmins or wanderers are there who are able to truly understand what is the gratification, drawback, and escape from. And because of that, they can teach to others that we should learn. Kochapana bhikkave rupana asado. Now the Buddha explained what is the gratification of sight that we see. Buddha says, Buddha gave the beautiful example. What he says, Seyatapi bhikkave Khattiya Kanyaya va Brahmana Kanyava Gahapati Kanyava. Thus, there is any beautiful girl from the higher born clan. Higher born have all the beauty, like the wealth it is there, so they don't have the harsh life. So, Parnarasa Vasu, or maybe 15 or 16 years old, on that time, that is the age of marriage. So, they are not very tall, not very short, not very fat, not very thin, with the proper, all of that. Big Supreme Buddha asks to bhikkhus, bhikkhu, tasming samaye subha varna nibhati. You will say it is not at the height of her beauty and prettiness. Buddha asks, is she pretty or not? Bhikkhu says, evam bante, she's pretty. No, she's beautiful. So, yanko bhikkave subha varna nibhang paticca uppajati sukhang so manasang ayang rupanam asado. The pleasure and happiness that arise from this beauty and prettiness is the gratification of sight. That's the thing we do all the time. When we see someone beautiful, what we do? We immediately express, oh, beautiful. What we do? We turn around and see for that couple of times. Intentionally, unintentionally, completely happen that thing. It is our nature. It is our nature to is called Supreme Buddha gratification of sight. Buddha explained here, Koch Bhikkhave Rupanam Adinu. If that is the gratification of sight, then what is the drawback of it? What is the drawback? Because that daughter, that girl, when she is getting old, 80 years of, 90 years of, 90 years of age, or 100 years of age, when when her Jinnang Gop, she is, aging, what it does, make our hair gray, the skin is having all the looseness that is there, the teeth is crooked or falls down, all our eyesight is weakened. So imagine that 16 or 18 years of girl, she's beautiful that everyone wants to look now. Now she's same girl that she is now aged, completely fed up, complete the life. Who is gonna look at that? No one gonna see that. No one gonna see. So Buddha says that is the that is a drawback of sight. That what we see, it doesn't stay always the same. With time, it changes, and it is true. Whenever we see something beautiful, that is a nature. It will change. It is a drawback of sight. Nothing stays permanent in this world. That is the thing the Buddha is explaining here. Furthermore, Supreme Buddha explained here that the same girl who was very young, that the beautiful one, that everyone wants to look at her, when you see her, abadikang dukkitang balagilanang, when she's suffering with the illness, and different way, like her entire body is filled with the pus and the marks and all these things are there, and that time what you will see is the same beauty still there. It is not. When the people get a lot of pimples, simple pimples are there. How we see? We don't see that person beautiful anymore. So when the people are suffering, like cancer happened to people, at that time all the hairs fall, the skin become like dead. So much trouble is there. Does that beauty stays there? Because replied, no Bante. That doesn't, we cannot say that is. So the beauty is also change. That is the adinavo patrosi. That is the drawback appears in that moment. Supreme Buddha says, I am bhikkhave rupanang adinam, and that is the one of drawbacks of sight. Punachaparang Bhikkhave, that girl, the beautiful girl, if she passed away, Eka Mahatangva, Di Mahatangva, Ti Mahatangva, Uddamatang Vinilakang Vipupakajana. When that beautiful girl passed away, and that body is 1 day old, 2 days old, 3 days old, what happens? That body has become blue, swollen. Today, we do not keep the bodies. Immediately, we take to the morgue, we take out all the liquid, which expands, and we fill something up. We show for the couple of times, and then we immediately take and burn them or bury them. That thing we do. But if someone keep that body as it is, it will have that color. It will have the change will be visible there. Buddha says, when that thing happens, when that body is getting swollen, when body is getting blue or reddish, this different colors is visible. Is that the beauty is saying or not? For this to understand, beautiful example is called Sirima. In the Buddha's time, there was a prostitute. Her name was Sirima. She was a religious person, and she offered the food to all the monks time to time. And she was a beautiful, divine beauty. Monks wanted to see her all the time. Couple of monks. So one of the monk heard that Sirima is very beautiful. Her voice is very melodious, and she offered the food. And the monks were in the queue or the polling that my number will come to go there. Oh. So one day, one monk who was very interested to look at her beauty, when his number came, she falls sick. So he went to her home and he's waiting. Food is there. Now, delicious food. But his mind and thinks, I want to see that beauty. He heard the voice, but the sick voice. She said, Bante, I am very sick. I cannot come outside. That's only her. So even in that sickness, her voice was melodious. It stuck with him. I did not see that woman. I want to see. And he is every day praying for her. Now she may get well. Now she may get well. What happened? She passed away with that. As soon as he heard that she's passed away, he left eating, doing all the chores, no worshipping, nothing. It stuck with him. Okay, she's died. Now my entire world has fallen. What to do? The Bhikkhu Supreme Buddha understand that, and he said to the king, he sent the message to the king: do not burn or do not do the after passing away. That last rite you should not do to the Sirima. A couple of days has passed because she was sick, and this monk is also suffering. And after she passed away, he has just given up everything. Buddha, after 2-3 days, he said, bring that body outside in the society. Not first day, 3-4 days later. And Buddha asked this monk also come. And Buddha asked, okay, this Sirima was very expensive prostitute, very expensive. People will spend 1,000 golden coins to stay with her. Is there anyone who want to take the body, want to be with the Sirima with 1,000 coins? No one said. For the 500 coin, no one said. For the 100 coin, no one said. For the 50, 20, anyone want to take the free this body? No one come forward. Why? Because the nature of the body has changed. Now this body is visible. So that is the Buddha says. This bhikkhu understand that later and immediately said, for this body, I am developing desire, which is changing. Buddha explained, and he went inside the kuti. He attained his path. He completed his path. He became one of the enlightened later. That thing. So same thing is happening when body is transforming into different way. The beauty does not stay there. We cannot say it is a beautiful. We cannot adore that. That is the things. So different way, this body decay completely. It become dust also. Buddha says that is the adinavu rupana. That is the drawback of sight. Furthermore, Supreme Buddha says, Kinchi bhikkhave rupana nissarana. What is the escape from this sight? Supreme Buddha says, Yoko bhikkhave rupesu chandaraga vinayo. Chandaraga pahanam. Whatever desire toward this sight we hold, when we give up, that is called idam rupana nissarana. That is the nissarana, it is mentioned. But then furthermore, yehi koch bhikkhave samanava brahmanava evam rupanam asadam cha asadato. There are some of the samana or brahmana who doesn't understand about this sight or forms. Because of not understanding it, they cannot proclaim it, they cannot teach it, they cannot mention it. But there are some of the samana and brahmana who understands it, who understand that gratification, drawback and escape, they understand truly, so they can teach others. Who is that? That is the person, Buddha or his disciple, or whoever heard it from him. Coach Bhikkhave Vedrana Gasado. Supreme Buddha says, what is the gratification of feeling? Buddha mentioned, Ida Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Vivicheva Kamehi Vivicheva Akusale Dhammini Tham Savitakan Savicharam Vivekajan Piti Sukam Pataman Janam Upasampaja Viharati. What is the gratification of feelings? In here, the Buddha explained the greatest feeling that you can have. All the 5 sensual desirable feelings that are okay, that we enjoy, we engage in most of the time. Comfort we seek, that feeling we want to enjoy again and again. But what is the highest feeling that we can say, this is in the pure form of it? That one is come from the jhanas. And that jhanas is accessible for any householder. It is not something is privileged for only monks. Householder people also can enjoy that thing. They also can have in their worldly life. That is the best jhanas out there. I think so. Should not be mentioned, but one of the bhikkhu from the Western world, he has mentioned the jhanas, means the state of jhanas is the better than sex. He has mentioned. So he explained completely and beautifully. I maybe not, but he did. So first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhanas, those are the purest form of feelings, purest, best thing you can have. Means whatever you want to like in this world, you are doing work, eating, tasting, sleeping, what it called, enjoying your, compared to that, the jhanas are the best thing. So Buddha says that is the asad, that is the gratification, and what is the drawback of it? Kocha bhikkave vedananam adinam. What is the drawback of this vedana, feelings? Yang bhikkave vedana anicca dukkha viparinama dhamma ayam vedananam adinam. This meditation state, first jhana, second or third jhana, does not stay same. As soon as you rose from your seat, what happened? These jhanas fall down. It doesn't stay, and it is impermanent. That's why these feelings, these vedanas, are impermanent, and it transforms into something else. That is the adinava. That is the drawback of feelings. That feeling are impermanent, suffering, and perishable. Kincha bhikkave vedanam nissarana. And what is the escape from it? There is only one escape. Yoko bhikkave vedanasu chandaraga pahanam idang vedananam nissaranam. Whatever the removing and giving up desire, greed for feelings, this is the escape from feeling. And what is it? Enlightenment. Being Arahant. Arahant is the one who attains it. Yehi kochis bhikkave samanava brahmanava evam vedananam asadam cha sadatu adinavam cha adinavato nissaranato yathabhutam nappajanati te vata samang vedanang parijanasanti parang va Tatatthaya samadhapissanti yatha patipanno vedanam parijanissanti. There are ascetic and Brahman who doesn't truly understand this feelings, gratification, drawback, and escape. Due to that, they are unable, or it is impossible for them to explain, teach, and guide others. But there are some of the Samana and Brahmanas who can truly, completely understand it. And because of they have understand this gratification, drawback, and escape of feeling, they are able to explain, elaborate, and mention in front of others. They can teach it properly. Huh? Uh, so they will completely understand these things. So others can understand the feelings. So Buddha is a teacher. He has understand completely, and that's why when he teaches others, they also understand it. Idam vocha bhagava attamanate bhikkhu bhagavato bhasita gavinam. As the Buddha explained this entire sutta, the monks were very happy and satisfied, and they rejoice in this Buddha's words. You see, in very simple way, the Buddha explained all of our worldly problems. Isn't it there? That we enjoy. We build our entire life with this illusion that we see. To protect this illusion, we do all kind of suffering. We face all kind of suffering. And it's not literally in everyone's world, like everyone is not dying with that, but still there are signs of that people are suffering with this in a lot of way. So the gratification, drawbacks, and escape are there. It means whatever the pleasure it we see, there are drawbacks of it too. There are bad results of it too. And we can find escape from it. Because this is not the first life. Samparayika karma is also Buddha explained. It is happening in continuously. Now it is happening, and then furthermore and furthermore, furthermore. That continues happen this chain. As soon as we break this chain by utilizing this escape, utilizing with Nissarana, then that we do not have to face it again and again. And that is the teaching of Supreme Buddha. Because one of the suttas, and there is one of the Samyutta Nikaya, one of the chapter, Buddha says, the beginning of our continuous of the life, Anamatageya bhikkhave sansaro pubbha kotina panyayanti. In Anamatageya Samyutta, Buddha mentioned where we start, where we begin this suffering, it is unpleasant. And we cannot pinpoint that, okay, from here we started our journey. We cannot. That much of long journey we have spent in the world. For what? Because of the gratification of pleasure, gratification of sight, and gratification of feelings. For that we have spent this much time. If we understand the drawback, I'm not saying being monk completely immediately, or householder person can do whatever the Buddha explained. It is possible here. Once we do, and we understand there is an escape from it, we can get rid of these things. And the true teacher, the proper guidance will help us to do. For this, there is one beautiful thing is Buddha explained. What? The 5 precepts. What 5 precepts do? It stops from killing. For the enjoyment, people do the killing for the enjoyment. That stops. Stealing, here mentioned, the stealing happened for the gratification, for the enjoying sensual pleasure. Buddha says, no, not to do. To gain the sensual pleasure desire, people do the sexual misconduct. That Buddha says, do not do. 3rd precept, do not tell lies. People cheat, people do all different words, make fun, take advantage of others because of words, they change their mind with the words, that thing. So telling lies is also prohibited. And intoxicating. This intoxication, what it does, completely loosen our life. You may have noticed, whenever you go to the downtown, you will always find who is junkies, what their life is. You don't feel it. Means they feel anything, but their only gratification is in that sensual desire. That one desire is there. I have seen here also the people who are drunk, they are sitting, they are falling into the anywhere. There is no place you cannot escape. That thing happens. So Buddha says, positively practice these five precepts. Abstain from these five things. Then Nisarana, escape is begin from that moment. See, that is the thing. And that's why in Eightfold Path also, it is properly mentioned. These five precepts take place there. So Sammaditthi is there. Sammaditthi come from here also. What? If we understand this gratification, drawback and escape, then automatically we understand I want to commit it to get rid of this all suffering. So this is the beautiful sutta. And what the Buddha said, this is the longer discourse of the mass of suffering. The huge mass, everything is suffering, everything is mentioned here. So remember that. Okay. I hope that you enjoy this sutta. May this sutta's explanation, may this sutta be helpful for all of us to understand this gratification, drawback, and escape. May this sutta be helpful for all of us to walk on the path of Supreme Buddha and achieve the ultimate happiness in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We have a couple of minutes, so we can discuss upon it. Any questions is there? Please ask.
Is jhana something like I guess, is it something like being able to control your, how like they say like when you're happy, your brain releases serotonin, your
Yes.
endorphin, does that. So does that mean is jhana kind of, or jhanas, like are they kind of like a state where you're kind of able to control these things and thus be like, therefore you're kind
Okay.
of happy,
So
or
there are four jhanas, okay? And the four jhanas have four different effects on our life. Four different effects. Um, it is not more about controlling, but it is about to being in that state. Means it is automatically released. Those all serotonin and all that liquid fluid. It's what we say in English term. These are all happening. It is not control. It means that time when this is happening, you do not have any disagreement with another person. Means it is not, you are not harming to yourself, you are not harming to others. In that mind, in that moment, it is mentioned here, I forgot to mention that Neva tasmin, Suprabhupada says, when this happened, Neva tasmin samaye atta vyavadiya chetipi. That time, that person is not suffering for himself. Parang napara vyavadhayapi cheteti. On that time, he's not giving pain for others. So not for himself, not for others. That moment, he is in the peaceful mind. Loving kindness. Truly it is there. That feeling is there. It is not about control. It's about just enjoyment. Means the purest form, like any person get intoxicated. What he feels? He feel that happiness for the time being, and that finishes. So that person become addict of it, but it doesn't give. It harms that person more and more than give the happiness. Jhanas are in different words. Does not harm person, but gives the pure form of happiness. It is not hurting himself. It is not hurting to another being. Neither hurting for both. This person stays in the purest form of it. That is called the jhanas. And anyone can achieve the jhanas. It's not, okay, you're a man or you're a girl or you're at this age, only you will be able to do. No, anyone can, but we are out of practice, and jhanas need a little bit more practice. Once it is possible. Is that okay?
yes, yes, Bante. And Bante, what are some examples of like mental misconduct?
Mental misconduct, like when you have a covetousness, when we have to hurt someone, that intention of hurting, ill will, jealousy, those are called mental misconduct. Because see, if you want to do something, you want to hurt someone, where the idea comes from? It comes from mind. And then that person take the effort or take the work for that. So that is a difficult part. So that is called mental misconduct. We are filled with me, you, everyone has that at certain point that we have that mental misconduct, and that's why the Dhamma is there to make us aware. Okay, not to engage here. Stay calm, stay in peaceful way. This is all things are impermanent. For the shortcut you will try to find, and you may get the happiness for the short moment, but because of it is impermanent, all the effort is the waste. In that way, it is explained.
Thank you, Bhante. That was very enlightening. I just had a question in the beginning.
Yes.
When the mendicants went to the other ascetics,
Yes.
and they said they also strive for sensual pleasures, they understand sensual pleasures, forms, feelings, etc. Where did that come from? Where did they're from different religions, I guess, but where, like, I know in my religion, I don't see any of that. So would this be the Hindu religions in India?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, in that time, there is not a Hindu religion, but different teachers, because usually this is a land of seekers, means they are searching for to escape of suffering.
Right.
So whenever the suffering, it was established before the Buddha also. Buddha mentioned suffering. Yes, suffering was there. That's why the Buddha said, I want to find a solution of it.
Oh, okay.
So whoever want to find a solution for suffering, they know that this suffering comes from these places. But Buddha's discovery is that they don't understand where it comes from.
Yeah.
They just want to finish it, but they don't know what it is, where it is arise from.
Right.
And that is the true knowledge of Supreme Buddha.
Okay, so they were just at the cusp. They didn't know how to go further and how to erase it, how to eradicate suffering.
Today is happening also. Like in India, there is a very huge festival is happening called Kumbh.
Yeah, I know about it. Yeah.
And people are millions of people going there to take bath. For what? So they can wash their sins. For what? Why they are washing their sins? So they can go to the heavenly world, or they can stop their suffering. They can stop their journey of that. It means they accepted that there is a suffering is there, but they don't understand where it comes from. What is the solution of that? For that, they are doing all different type of activities to get rid of it.
So, sorry.
Yes.
Are there efforts made to talk to some of these people so that they understand what the Buddha said?
Yes. So the thing is, Buddha has also mentioned that is called wrong view. When you have made your mind that this is I am correct, it is easy to persuade that person? It's not easy. We tried, but now in the time, I have seen many of the people are understanding it. Our journeys to means I cannot spend entire time on teaching others, but whoever come to contact with us, we can guide them. And there are a lot of people who left that wrong view and trying to come to the Buddha's dispensation. So I have seen many people in our monastery. One of the ascetics, this one of the wanderer, 35 years, he was with that wrong view. Now, once he found the Buddha's path, he disrobed that one and he ordained in our monastic system. Now he's training, okay, I want to be like this. The purpose was to escape from the suffering for him at that time also, and now is also. But now he has found the path. Several different faith people, different religious people, they come and they started to learn from it. Okay. So
Thank you.
One person at a time, something like this.
Namo Buddhaya, Bhante.
Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you for teaching. Thank you for sharing. You're doing a great job. Thank you. My question is about the jhana. So you said you have to practice a little bit more. Which meditation practice do you recommend, and how much practice do you recommend, like on a daily basis?
Okay. If you have a concentration, means
Mhm.
if you easily concentrated, then anapanasati will lead you towards the jhanas. Okay, that is. If you have a little bit, if your mind is wandering from here time to time, unable to concentrate, then the loving kindness meditation also can lead you to there. Because one of the positivity in loving kindness meditation, it gives the instant submission, emission, or instantly you can concentrate your mind. So that is there. If you have the lot of lustful mind, then to get rid of it, Buddha says practice the ashubhas, foulness of body, foulness of food, these all kind of things. So you do that slowly, slowly. Means our mind, wherever it drags us to stop from that, it will always lead to a jhanas. So this also meditation. Um, then there is a Buddhanusati, there is a Dhammanusati, Sanghanusati, those kind of meditation. Whatever suits you when you meditate, and what makes you more comfortable, what makes you forget something, that thing also lead you toward the jhanas. Okay, so not a particular thing I can say, because I don't know your practice, but minimum try these three things. First is anapanasati, the breathing meditation. Second one is loving kindness meditation, and third one is 32 parts of 32 bodily parts that we visit, asubha, ashubha jhana. This thing, these three practices, if you do, you will find one of that very suitable for you, and you can attain. For the practice timing, for first start from 15 minutes and take it up to 2.5 hours. If you have that without interruption for the couple of times, not for the once, for the couple of time, like you can practice like a 5 to 6 times, then you will have that. Okay, you will have the different experiences, not that paranormal something like this. You will have experience not outside, no, not seeing something, not hearing something, no, from inside, that you are completely serene, peaceful, and then that is the stage of jhanas that you are achieving. So one will there, second will there, fourth will, the continuous practice. Later on, that you don't have to sit down for 3 or 4 hours. Okay, you can have that same happiness with a half an hour or 20 minutes or 1 hour. You can achieve that things if the practice is continuous. Once you have, people I have seen, they don't want to leave their seat. So that is also like a intoxicating in one way, but it is not. It doesn't have any drawbacks. Intoxication have a drawbacks. The jhanas doesn't. It's peaceful, most serene, most beautiful feeling in this world is that. So, but it needs it needs a little bit practice. Like if you want to be a doctor, you have to suffer for the 4 to 5 years in the college, and for that also you have to go from the KG1 up to that. Same for goes for the jhanas also. You have to practice and do that. Okay,
Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
that's all for today. I hope that everyone enjoys today's sutta, and let's share this all the merits today. We went refuge to Triple Gem. We observed the 5 precepts. We practiced meditation. We learned the beautiful sutta which Suprabhupada explains, and we try to discuss upon it. In this way, we have accumulated a lot of good karma. We share this all good merits to all the heavenly beings, all the protected deities. By this power, they may all achieve, they may all realize the 4 noble truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We share this merit with all the departed relatives in this life or long life of samsara. Whoever departed from us, we share this merit with them. By the power of this merit, they may have good life in next life, and they may become fortunate to escape from this harsh journey of samsara. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We share this merit with our teacher, Guru Bhante Lokaswami Mahansa, all the monks in the Mahamana monastery, all the monks in this country, in this world, all the nuns we share this merit. They may also have association of noble friends, and they may also walk on the path of enlightenment in this Supreme Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We share this merit with all of you, all of your family members, friends, relatives, work colleagues. We share this merit with all of them by the power of this merit, by the power of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha and deity's protection. You may all have happy life, healthy life, long life. All the fortune comes your way. You may have the association of noble friends. With the association of them, you may walk on the path of Supreme Buddha and you may realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Bless you all. Abhivadana Silisa Nichang Vada Pachayino Chattaro Dhamma Vadanti Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminati Samicchatu. We share the merits with our devotees who are offering us. I'm buying the land in India to build the monastery for the monks, because here there are very less places. So whoever sharing the merits, who are sharing the giving us a donation, we share the merit with all of them also, and they may also achieve the place in the Supreme Buddha's dispensation by offering or by donating the place for the monks. So sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so see you next week. Okay. Namo Buddhaya.
Many merits, Bhante. Please allow us to ask for forgiveness.
Yes, Ashan.
O Kasawandami Bhante.
Sukhiyo.
Maya Katam Punyang Samina Anamoditabang.
Sadhu, sadhu, anumodami.
Samina Katam Punyang Mayan Databang.
Sadhu, anumodita.
Sadhu Sadhu Anamodami. O Kasandwaratena Katang Sabang Achayang Kamatame Bhante.
Kamami kantabang.
O Kasa Kamami Bhante. Ditiyampi O Kasa Kamami Bhante. Tatiyampi O Kasa Kamami Bhante.
Sukhini dukkhani rukantu nibbana sapaccayo sukhi huntu.
Many merits, Bhante.